Hey everybody, I'm Josh from JNJtabletop, and with me is my good friend Jake, also from JNJtabletop.
How's it going?
And today we are going to go over how to play Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. So basically, the way the game works is we have a player, which today I will be the player, and we have a DM, which Jake will be doing today. And basically what's going to happen is he's going to explain to us everything that's going on, and he's going to tell me the setting that I'm in. He's going to bring me into situations, and I'm going to explain to him what I want to do, and he's going to tell me either I do that or I have to roll the dice to do that or whatever. And that's how we're going to interact with this world. And we got a little demo set so we could do everything step by step, and you could see things exactly how they're supposed to be played or how they can be played.
Absolutely. All right. So first, let's set the mood here. All right.
Ooh. Oh, wow. What's this? Wow. Look,
I know. Almost feels like you're playing Oblivion.
I really feel like I'm playing the game now. Okay.
um, okay. So you're playing Jaren, who is a Wood Elf Ranger, and he is part of the roaming tribes in Underrune, or also known as the Mistwood Wilds in the world of Ivlar. And you were on patrol with some of your buddies, and there was 4 of you. And the last thing you remember was getting smacked over the back of the head with something that knocked you out. When you came to, one of your patrol mates, unfortunately, was dead, and the other 2 seemed to be gone. And you're not sure what's going on. What would you like to do?
Um. So I'm sure he's dead. I
You can
guess.
check him.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd like to check and just make sure that he's gone.
All right. Well, let's start with making a medicine check.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna look in my stats, and I see for medicine, I am proficient with it. No. Yeah, I am proficient with it. So I'm gonna roll d20. Which was very good. And I'm going to add my bonus to that, which is +3. So that's going to be an 18.
Yeah. Unfortunately, yes, he is no longer alive, and it looks as though he has also some form of blunt force trauma. Like if you roll him over, it looks like the back of his head, like something smacked him real hard.
Okay. So I'm going to try to look around and try to get a feel for my surroundings. Do I see any tracks? Do I see where the enemies went, or where my companions went, the ones that are living, or were they dragged off? Anything?
Sure. I'm gonna go ahead and let you make a choice here. Actually, is this your favorite terrain in the woods?
This is my favorite terrain.
All right. So, well, I'm gonna give you a choice of investigation or survival. You can make a check there, whatever you
Okay.
feel best with.
So now I'm going to roll survival, which also is on my list, and I have a +5 to that. So I'm going to roll this d20.
And as a
And
ranger for favorite terrain, do you get advantage on that? How does that work?
ooh, natural explorer, tracking creatures. Uh, doesn't look like I get advantage, but if
Okay.
I'm tracking creatures, I learn their exact number, their sizes, and how long ago they passed through the area.
Okay.
Um, so I rolled a natural 9 +5 is a 14.
Yeah. It's not too hard. It's not too hard to find any tracks here. It looks like there's some tracks leading towards the Stoutheart Mountains off to the west, which is kind of close to where your patrol was, anyways. And it looks as though bodies were probably dragged with them. And yeah, it seems like it would be pretty easy for you to follow if you wanted to.
Sure. Yeah, I'll follow those tracks.
Okay. So now go ahead and do your survival check to track, which, like you said, you have advantage. What does that mean, Josh?
Advantage would mean that you roll two 20-sided dice and you take the higher number. So
Okay.
this that was an 8. I rolled a natural 1, which is a
Hmm.
critical failure, and I rolled a natural 3, which is just not great.
Okay.
Um, so 8 total.
Okay. So even though it was not too hard to see that there were tracks to begin with, after maybe 5 minutes of following along, it looks like a big clearing kind of came out, and you're just not entirely sure what to do next. So as you're searching, it takes you a good, I'm going to say almost an hour to kind of pick up the scent, if you will, again. And maybe had you rolled better, it might have been a little quicker of a process. But eventually, after another 20 minutes, half an hour of following the trail, you see the what looks like the entrance to a cave. It looks like you're following one creature based on the tracks. I know you said that you'd be able to know that.
Mhm.
And the cave entrance looks like it's maybe 20 feet tall, kind of natural looking, not like it's man-made, and maybe 15 to 20 feet wide, depending on how high up you're looking.
Sure. Yeah. I think I would just approach the cave
Mm-hmm.
and maybe try to do it a little stealthily if I
Okay.
can.
Yeah, why don't you roll a stealth check?
Okay. So a lot of rolling at the moment, and it's just the same thing that I've been mentioning the whole time. It's going to be 20-sided die. So whatever my modifier is, stealth would be a +6 for me because I'm pretty good at that. That's a natural 1 again. So, which is a critical failure, which basically
Yes.
means you fail automatically, but also usually in the worst way possible. And the DM will decide what that means. So,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you get to the cave and you're just kind of like looking up because you're really just trying to get a feel for your surroundings. And as you take the next step, you just didn't see that there was this, like, I don't know, a rock that was sticking out. Maybe you thought it was a little farther away, and you just like stumble forward, and you can't help but kind of go, whoa, and like it kind of goes, whoa, 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 and it kind of echoes throughout the cave. And you're
So what that would tell me as a player pretty much is that I was trying to be quiet. I was trying to give myself an advantage. But now if there's anything inside here, which I think there is, it's definitely aware that there's something outside. It's aware of my presence. I'll still continue on because that's what I'm gonna do. But
I mean, you got to save your patrol,
I gotta, yeah.
right? Yeah. Okay, so you continue in the cave, which seems to be basically one path, more or less. You don't see anything significant to be able to move left or right.
Mhm.
And you're kind of able to do this for maybe another 20 minutes to a half an hour. It's a bit of a winding cave, but you feel like you're kind of making some progress going into the mountain.
Mhm.
And I think, are you still trying to be stealthy at this point?
Sure, if I can.
I mean, like you said, you did go quite a ways in.
Yeah.
So let's do another stealth check.
All right. It's a 10 this time.
Okay.
So that's a natural 4 plus my modifier, which is +6.
Okay. So why don't you also make a perception check because you're starting to come close to something.
Perception check would be a 12. It's a
Okay.
7 plus my modifier of 5.
Okay. So you're starting to hear a little bit of the sound of running water. It's a little ways away, but it is starting. The closer, the more you walk towards it, the more you're starting to hear it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll just head towards it at the moment. There's
Okay. Now, what kind of a light source are you using? I know you are a wood elf, so you have dark vision.
uh, so I was just relying on my dark vision. If it seems like I can't get by on that anymore, then I would have lit a torch.
Okay. You certainly can. You just can't discern color, and if you're looking to do perception checks to see, unfortunately, they're going to be made at disadvantage because of that.
Okay.
But because I think this is time to be able to at least show you your environment, we're going to go ahead and switch and come down here. So this is the cave. It comes out to an opening. These are like little hold on, tights or top stalagmites. They're coming out of the ground, rock formations. I know Nooch is gonna get me if I got that wrong.
Yeah.
And that's fine. Actually, let us know in the comment section. Yeah, so you got some water. It looks like it's running from left to right here on the screen.
Okay.
And I think more or less this is about the range of it. You can obviously you can't see that it's bluish water, so you just see it's like black and white. Basically, you're like a dog, man.
All right. Yeah, and just to clarify for those of you watching, we usually go to this map scene. This is just how we do things when we're playing a game online. If we want to be able to get a visual of what's going on, if there's going to be combat or anything like that, we like to have the map just to help us see it. You don't always have to do that, but that's what we're doing this time. So that black on the left hand side, that's the wall of the cave?
Yes, those are the outer edges. And like I said, this is just starting to open up. For the most part, it was, we get a little narrower at times, but never really more narrow than like 15 or 10 feet.
Okay, cool. So I'll try to follow that wall on the left-hand side of the cave and just try to move along and start looking around, seeing if I notice anything or anyone.
Okay. So we're gonna get you to right here, and I'll ask you to make another perception check.
Sure. Disadvantage?
Actually, yes.
Okay. So advantage meant we roll 2, we take the higher one. Disadvantage is pretty simple, means you roll 2, take the lower. So let's do that. And that is going to be I rolled a 12 and a 4. I'm going to use the 4 plus 5. That's a 9.
Yeah, so you're still not entirely sure what's going on past this water, but you definitely, it's kind of hard to hear too with the water kind of, it's not like intense, but it's enough to make a little sound.
Yeah.
You hear a little once in a while because it drips from the cave.
I think at this point I would take out a torch because I've been having some trouble noticing things around me, and I think that'll help. So
okay,
I'll light a torch.
So you light the torch, and you're definitely able to discern some color over here.
Okay.
And at that point, you hear something. Actually, what languages do you speak?
I speak Goblin, Elvish, Common, and I think that's it.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that's it.
Okay, that's fine. For purposes of this, it sounds kind of guttural, grunty. You're not sure what's being said, but you hear something just kind of like, and it's past the dim light of your torch at this point, so you're still not entirely sure what's going on.
Okay. I would like to move up towards that farthest rock on the left-hand side.
So, like this one here? Or up top?
Up top, please.
Okay, so... Okay.
And...
yeah, you're going to get a lot more...
Sorry.
No, go ahead. What were you going to say?
I think it's worth mentioning that for the purposes of this video, and typically when we play on a grid, each space is worth 5 feet. If we're in combat, you do have a speed, and you're only allowed to move up to that speed. Usually it's around 30 feet, give or take 5, depending on what race you're playing as.
At this point, I'm going to ask you to make another perception check.
Sure.
This one just regular.
All right, that's a 23.
Okay.
18 plus 5.
You see at the edge of your vision, we're going to zoom out a little bit here, a lumbering creature moving forward as he starts to, and as he's just coming into view, it looks like he's got 2 heads, and it almost sounded like you heard 2 voices there, but you weren't quite sure what was going on, and he's starting to charge towards you. So I see no reason to not roll initiative at this point.
Okay. Yeah, and for the fans at home, basically when you hear your DM here say roll initiative, you just entered combat. Initiative is what determines the order of the combat. So if I roll very, very high, and I'm the highest number, that means I go first. I roll very low, and I'm the lowest number, means I go last. So we'll find out. Natural 10 plus 4. That is a 14 for my initiative.
All right. You beat their initiative, and you get to go first.
Okay. And sidebar, I've made a level 1 version of Jaren for this. Should I be using a different version?
You certainly should be using your current version
All right.
of Jaren. When you said Jaren, I was like, yeah, good.
All right. Sweet. Good to know. All right. I have that one up now.
Okay.
So I would like to let's see, is he in range? Do you have a way of quickly seeing how far away he is, or no? If not, it's fine.
Yeah. What are you looking to do?
I'm looking to hit him with my longbow.
That's 75. Oh, definitely for longbow. Absolutely.
Sure. All right. Yeah. So I'd like to first off, I'm going to cast Hunter's Mark. So as when you're in combat, we like to call it the action economy. It's basically what you're able to do in combat. So you have a movement, an action, and a bonus action. Typically, your action you're going to be using for attacking. You could also use it to dash or disengage. So dash would be doubling your movement, and disengage would be exiting combat if you're in melee with someone. So first, I'm going to start off with my bonus action. I'm going to cast something called Hunter's Mark.
What's the range on Hunter's Mark?
The range on Hunter's Mark, I believe, is 90 feet, but I will look it up for you right now. It is 90 feet.
Okay. Yep, he's in range.
The kid is good. All right. So I'll do that.
It's been a while since you played him.
It has been a while. And I'm going to make an attack with my longbow.
I think that is a good decision.
It is a natural 3, which makes it a 12.
A 12 hits?
Okay, all right, fantastic.
I was going to say that his armor class is 12, which is basically for teaching purposes. He had to reach the number that is represented by the armor class.
Yeah.
Jaren just happens to be really good with the bow. That's why a 3 popped all the way up there.
Yes, yeah, I have a +9 to my attack bonus. So even when you roll a 3, it's a 12, which is pretty nice. So now for a longbow, my damage is going to be a D8, which is this little guy, if you can see that. And it's going to be D8 plus 4 piercing damage. So I'll roll that now. And that's going to be 2 plus 4, which makes it 6.
Don't forget your Hunter's Mark.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of DMs won't remind their players, so you got to be mindful.
Yes, you do. So Hunter's Mark, I'll just read that quickly for you. It's a first level divination spell. It basically, if you hit a target with an attack, and you have this active, you get to deal an extra D6 of damage, which is just the little cube ones that every board game uses. So we'll roll that too, and that's going to be a 5. So that's pretty nice. So
that bumped it up to 11.
Bumped it up to 11 total. Yes.
All right.
And
kind of sinks right into his right into like almost like his rib cage, but he just kind of goes like he's just. It seemed like not that it didn't hurt him, but he's just like, oh, like I didn't like that.
Yeah. He's still got more to go. So if we were at first level, all I would have left is my movement because I used my bonus action to cast that. I used my action to attack. I'm playing a higher level character at the moment, so I actually get an extra attack for part of my action. So I'm going to take that, and I'm going to try to hit him again with my longbow.
Which apparently you only need to roll a 3 or better.
Yeah, which is pretty good odds. I wish I had sharpshooter.
Yes.
So that'll be a natural 19 plus 9, so 28 to hit.
Yes, it's very safe to say.
All right. So I'll roll my D8, which is a 3 plus 4 is a 7. Now I'll roll my D6 for Hunter's Mark again, which is just a 1 this time. So that brings me up to 8. And I have this nice little feature. And when you're playing your characters, you'll see as you start to level up, you'll get all these cool little things for subclasses and stuff like that. This one is called Colossus Slayer, and if an enemy is below its hit point maximum, hit points are your health. So it's already taken damage, so it's below its maximum. I get to roll an extra d8 of damage. So I'm going to do that. And that's a 3.
So you went. That was you had 11 plus 1 was 12 plus 3 is 15.
15.
Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So another one kind of pops him in the other shoulder, and you actually see the other head kind of go. Like, it was a little weird to, like, you're getting it in stereo.
Yeah. So after that, I would like to move one space over to the left, or down one and diagonal one to the right, if that's okay too.
So you want to go kind of like,
yeah, behind that rock, if that's okay.
Yeah, sure, that's fine.
And I will end my turn there.
Okay.
So I've used my bonus action, I've used my action, and I've used part of my movement. I still have more movement left, but I don't see any reason to use it at the moment.
Sure. The creature with 2 heads, he looks like, as he's coming into view, he's got this like matted, gnarly beard that kind of reaches down past his chest, almost like into his belly. It's at least 11 or 12 feet tall, maybe even more, and you see it raise up its hands. One has this like giant club and another has like a giant battle axe, and he just starts lumbering forward and just like, and you notice that he's just headed towards your kind of towards the light source that he sees, but you get to go. And that was like his move and his dash, and it looked like it was a little harder to get through the water, but you're not sure. You might not be able to just jump through it like he did, because it kind of went down to his knee.
Yeah. All right, well, I would I'm just gonna pop out from behind that cover, and I'm gonna make an attack with my longbow.
Okay.
I'm a ranger, that's what I do. That is a 16 plus 9, 25.
That's a hit.
That hits. So again, I'm going to be rolling my d8 for the longbow, which is a 3 plus 4, I believe. Yes, plus 4. So that's a 7. I'm going to roll a d6 for Hunter's Mark, just a 1. So that brings it to an 8. I'm going to roll my d8 for Colossus Slayer, and that's also a 1. So it just brings me to a 9.
9 more damage. So yeah, I mean, you just kind of reach up, and it just kind of sinks into his gut. Kind of again, it almost like disappears through it. Like it was kind of like a fat roll, kind of just just like as he just seems to be charging at you still.
So I would like, I don't know if I'm able to do this, but I would like to take the torch and kind of throw that over far away.
Okay. Is there any direction in particular that you're trying to
the right?
Okay. It's a little bit of an awkward toss, so make
forward or whatever.
No, I'm just throwing a torch that's lit, just saying end over end like that. So this isn't covered in the rules, so the DM gets to kind of make something up here.
And that's the beauty of the game.
I would say just kind of roll with it. Pun intended. Not really. So I would say roll 2 pyramids, 2d4.
Okay. I'm not going to show you d4 because it's a pyramid, and if you don't know what that means, when you're looking at your dice set, I don't know what to tell you.
That might be difficult, yeah.
I rolled 2 1s.
Okay. So the torch kind of just, you chuck it, and it kind of lands in this area, kind of right over here.
Cool.
And at that point, you kind of see the head kind of go, and kind of look a little bit. One of the other heads actually was looking in the other direction towards you still, and their heads kind of clunk It kind of goes.
Okay. um, so do I still get my extra attack, or would you count that as my?
I'm gonna go ahead and say no, not on this time, just because of
That's
that.
totally fair.
Yeah.
I'm gonna move over one space to the left for now, and we'll end my turn there.
Okay. So this giant creature goes, and he goes 1, 2, 3, and he's kind of stands there staring at it for a second. And I'm gonna roll a perception check for him. It's a 12. You had, let's say, you had you see, you're not a rogue, so you couldn't just use your bonus action to hide.
Mm-hmm.
He looks down, and then he kind of, one head looks to the left and the other head looks to the right. Actually, they have advantage on these because of that. Okay. And the head that looks to the right locks eyes with you, and it goes, rah, rah, and he just kind of goes,
All right.
and the big giant club comes over the top to swing at you. That's probably gonna miss. That's a 10.
That's a miss.
Okay.
So my armor class is a 15, so he would need to roll a 15 or higher to hit him.
And here comes the battle axe in to follow up. That's only a natural 5, so that's another 12.
That's also a miss.
And yeah, so the club kind of landed right at the ground. You had a quick little sidestep, and then the battle axe comes around and then crashes right into the stalagmite, chopping through it, and actually the top piece of it, like, just rubble spatters as it kind of goes around, and the top of it falls off. And that's his turn.
Yeah, so this kind of puts me in a interesting position because I'm a character that does things from far away, you know? That's where I work best. So, tell you what, just for the purposes of learning, I'm going to stow away the longbow, take out my short sword. I'm going to hit him with my short sword.
Okay. You will try. Here comes the natural 20. I was going to say.
It's kind of cocked, but I'm going to just... It's 25.
25 hits.
Okay, so for this, I'll only roll a d6. And that's a 3 plus 4, 7. I still get to roll my d8 for Colossus Slayer, which is a 1. And so that makes it 8. And I also get to roll my d6 for Hunter's Mark, which is a 4.
So you got 12 more damage?
12 more damage.
Okay.
And I'll use my extra attack.
Your short sword just kind of slices through, and a nice gash over his thigh, and now some blood starts to spill out. It looks like that one actually hurt him.
Good.
I mean, the other ones hurt him, but you're starting to make some progress on this guy.
All right. So I'll roll my my short sword attack again. That's a natural 16 plus 7.
Yeah, that's gonna do it.
Right. So I'll roll a d6 again. That's a 5 this time plus 4. It's a 9. Roll another d6 for my Hunter's Mark, which is 2. So that brings my total to an 11. And again, I can't roll Colossus Slayer twice. I can only do that damage once per turn.
Okay. Yeah, you just swing again, and now you cut him in the calf muscle as it looks like you're doing some kind of cool tumble maneuver that you can just use your imagination to see how that worked. And that was your action. Did you want to do anything for your move or your bonus? I could zoom out if you want to get a better view too.
I will, for my move, I actually want to, can I walk around him to get to the right side of him without provoking an attack of opportunity?
Just because it sounds like this is going to be fun, make an acrobatics check.
Okay.
But with advantage based on the description I just said.
Right. So that is going to be just an 11.
Okay, that's fine. You were able to. Your first strike had slashed him across the thigh. He looked like he went to reach down to get you, and you just tumbled forward, turned around, and slashed him in the calf, and now you find yourself right here.
Perfect. That's exactly where I wanted to be, and I will end my turn there.
Okay. He kind of stumbles forward and he kind of reaches down like he's going to grab his calf and goes, "Grr, grr," and he just turns around and swings his club again at you. That one might do it. That's a 17.
17 will hit.
Okay. All right, that's going to be 10 bludgeoning damage. As he kind of like turned around and he kind of moved a lot more quickly than you thought. It almost seemed like it was a wild swing of his club, and he just kind of cracks you in the arm as you were able to roll with it a little bit, but that one hurt.
Okay. Yeah. So when that happens, I'll subtract 10 from my hit point maximum. For me, it's a 44. Now I'm at a 34.
Okay. And he's following it up with the battle axe attack,
Sure.
which okay, natural 15, so +7. That's going to be a hit as well.
Yes, it is.
And that's going to be, let's see, 4 + 3 is 7, +5 is 12 slashing damage.
Okay. Yeah. So I'll subtract that 12. I'm at 22 now. Half my hit points.
So now a little blood's coming out of you. Blood's coming out of this guy. I'm not sure what's going on. He just turns and faces you and he just goes, "Rah!" I wish, he spoke one of his languages, but
yeah.
nonetheless.
Okay. So is it my turn?
It is your turn, yes.
Okay. I'm standing pretty much right where this torch is, right?
Yes.
Can I, if I threw or tried to kick the torch, would that be an action, a bonus action? What do you think?
I would kind of, depends on how deliberately, like what you're trying to do.
I'm just trying to kick it away, either to the left, to up top.
Just like a quick little like flick kind of a.
Yeah, just not towards the right and not towards the bottom. So.
Sure. Yeah. I would say you could flick it up a square if you just do a little kick with it.
Okay. Sure. Yeah, I'll do that, and
we'll call that a bonus action.
Okay. And
kind of lands up here.
For learning purposes, I will. I'm gonna try to run away. I'm not going to use the disengage action. So that means, what does that mean?
That means that he's going to get an attack of opportunity as you try to escape by just turning your back to him.
Yeah.
So
if I had used the disengage action, then he wouldn't get an attack of opportunity, but I'm not using it.
But at the same time, you still will have your action because of it. It's a risk reward play.
Mm-hmm.
So as you try to do that, the big giant club comes and tries to swing at you. And that is a 4 + 7 is an 11. So
that's a miss.
Just slams right into the ground. Where do you want to go?
All right. I would like to go towards the right. And I'm actually going to try to hide behind some rocks if I can. So
okay. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, if you think it's possible for me to kind of like sneak away back there, I don't know.
Yeah, I would say this is large enough that you would be able to have cover if you were trying to like crouch down and hide.
Sure. Yeah.
Are you taking the hide action?
I am taking the hide action.
Okay,
yes.
So let's have you roll a stealth check.
Okay. That is bear with me 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
That is going to be a 14.
Okay. So you kick the torch away. You kind of immediately just take a step and he kind of slams the thing down. And I guess now you're done?
Yeah, I'd like to end my turn there.
Okay.
I've used my bonus action to kick it away. I ran. That's my full movement is 6. Actually, I would have 1 more square of movement, but
if you want it.
I'm not planning on using it.
Okay.
And I used my action. So.
Sure. We're gonna zoom out just a bit here. And you see him kind of go, ugh, ugh. And we're gonna have him roll perception check, contested by your stealth. which is okay. That's an 11.
Okay.
He has advantage on him too. And you see, just kind of like wanders forward, like, and he kind of like just steps forward quickly and like slams his club up against this one of these things, and just rubble and shale kind of just smack against the wall, and as his back is kind of to you, and he's just kind of like.
Now, did he slam into the stalagmite or stalactite?
You might want to take your turn because it's now your go.
Right.
Stalagmite coming from the ground.
So now I'm gonna take my turn, and I'm hidden from him. So that means that I would get advantage on this attack.
It does, especially because he clearly doesn't know where you are.
And as we said before, advantage means you roll 2, take the higher. So that's amazing. I rolled 2 2s, but I have this feature called luck.
There it is. Okay. I was gonna say, I was like, that's actually a miss.
It's a feat, and it basically gives me 3 bonus dice that I could re-roll. I'm gonna try to use one of them now. And that's a natural 1. I'm going to use another luck point. 2 of my 3. And that's a natural 20.
Okay. That's what we call a critical hit.
Yeah. So
this is actually really special. So what's different about a critical hit with damage, Josh?
So for a critical hit, at least the way we do it, I think there's a couple different ways that people do it, but we roll double the damage dice. So
because twice the dice is twice as nice.
Yeah, basically.
That's how I remember it.
So typically with my longbow, I would only be rolling 1d8, and this time I'm going to be rolling 2 because I just rolled a critical hit. And let's see if that actually works out for me. Yeah, I rolled a 6 and a 2, so that's an 8. I still get my other d8 for Colossus Slayer.
You get 2 of those because it's a critical hit. You double all dice.
Fantastic.
And double your Hunter's Mark dice.
All right, so that's another 10. The first one was...
So that's 8 plus 10, okay.
18, and now we're going to roll double Hunter's Mark. And that's 7.
So
that's
18, 25. And then what's your dexterity modifier?
Ooh, that's 4. So 25 plus 4, that is 29 points of damage in one hit because of a critical hit.
Yeah, that was rather beautiful. And in the words of a famous DM who often dons this shirt in his games, how would you like to do this?
Fantastic. So how would you like to do this is basically code for you killed it. So
a lot of times reserved for the big bad in a fight too. It's not everyone, but
yeah. So Jaren kind of, he got stuck between a rock and a hard place for a bad pun.
Oh man, that's something I would say.
As he tried to roll past this, distracted, and I'm kind of surprised it works, he gets behind that rock and just pops out, pulls his arrow back, pulls the string back, and just... and it actually goes straight through both of the heads, goes through one and then just kind of pokes into the other, and it's just kind of, there's a shish kebab of what's that, an Etten? Is that what it is?
It is an Etten, yes. Yeah, so he kind of, the creature was like lumbered over and looked like so proud that he swung at that thing, and the rock shattered against the wall, only to turn just in time, and just like thump. And the momentum keeps him turning as he turns and looks at you, and just kind of falls flat on his face.
Awesome.
And he's done. What do you want to do now?
So I'd like to walk over to the body in true D&D fashion, and I'm going to see what it has on it.
Sure. Yeah, so you go over to it, and you see, obviously, it had the giant club, it had a big old battle axe, and actually the closer you get, it's this thing stinks. Like it's got a stench like you just probably hasn't bathed in like weeks at least, even though it's got
So
running water right
disgusting.
here. Yeah. It's just gross. But other than that, you're not seeing anything that special on him. Looks like he's got some like a bone necklace kind of a thing with some like I guess trophy kills.
Mhm.
Kind of look humanoid in that way, but
Interesting.
kind of gross.
Okay. Do I see any evidence of my companions, my fellow rangers?
No, but at this point, you still really haven't seen past the stream
Hmm.
or
Okay.
the running water. So
Yeah, so I'd like to try to cross the stream.
okay,
You know,
it's bad for Ghostbusters, by the way.
yeah, yeah, never cross the streams.
Mhm. Are you gonna leave your torch there, or are you gonna pick that up?
I'll pick it up. I
Okay.
got the torch with me.
Come over here, and then you come up to the stream. Oop. You look, and it definitely looks like it's deep in some spots, but it looks like there's maybe a few that you could kind of hop over to.
Sure. Yeah, I'd
Do
like
you-
to try to do that.
All right, so that's an athletics check, jumping. So get a little running start.
It's 17.
Yep, and then you easily just land right on this thing. This is another quick little pop. And let's do one more just to.
See if I get what?
Mhm.
That's an 8.
Okay. Yeah, so at that point, you try and let your momentum carry you, and you get a little wet, but it's not bad. It's just your heel. It's, a little splash sound happens.
Yeah, I'll take it.
And as you look beyond the entrance of the cave in true, I forget the name of the creature in Empire Strikes Back, but
Wampa?
I guess, is that the one that had Luke upside down?
I think so.
Okay. Yeah, you see your two patrol mates look like they're hanging upside down from ace to leg, tight. That had their feet kind of worked in there.
Yeah, I'll go up to them and see if I can get them down.
Sure. So I don't think we need this anymore. So getting to them, obviously easy enough. And when you get to them, you see that they actually both seem like they're alive, just unconscious.
Awesome.
And getting them down is not that difficult. They do look like they've been beat up pretty good, but you have saved your two patrol mates, thus ending our adventure.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well done. Thank you for coming up with that on short notice. I appreciate it.
No, it was fun to do something a little quick to maybe help teach some people.
Yeah, yeah. So we literally just played. That's what an adventure looks like. Most of the time, you might start out like actually hearing about what the mission was, why we were on that, and you might have a chance to stop your party members from being taken in the beginning. If you're playing a one shot, a lot of times it'll start off something like that, or right in the middle of the action. But yeah, we hope that you learned what you're looking for on there. That's pretty much the basic of things. If you're trying to do something, just say what you're trying to do. Your DM will tell you if you need to roll something for it. And remember, if it's your turn, you have an action, which you could attack, disengage, dash, and you have a bonus action, which there's a bunch of different things you can do with bonus actions. It kind of depends on what your specific class has.
Yeah, it's usually specified there.
Yeah, and you have
Some
a reaction.
spells. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. Like Hunter's Mark, you saw Hunter's Mark used that was a bonus action. The only reaction that we saw today was from the Etten. He got to take an attack of opportunity on me when I left without disengaging. And really, we just went through everything, and that wasn't like fudged or anything. I think both of us were just rolling. So
yeah, especially with your I'm a ranger and I can't seem to find jack anything.
Yeah. Typically, that's rangers are very, very good at survival. And
well, you just got hit on the head. You can cut you some slack. I think that's fine.
Yeah.
You want to close this out?
Sure. Thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate it. If you think we did anything wrong, if you think we did anything right, you learned something, if you have more questions, let us know in the comments below. We have more content coming out. We have games that we're going on.
Mm-hmm.
Check the links. We have Twitch and all that other junk, all the social media.
Mm-hmm.
So please feel free to
It'll be in
like,
the
comment,
description.
subscribe. Yeah,
Yep.
all down there in the description. And
Take it easy.
we'll see you in the next one.